is Abdul Rahman. I'm a lecturer at a public university in Kenya. I deliver lectures in computing and informatics. In our last lesson, we discussed about variables in function. Basically, we talked about their scope and their lifespan. We have seen that variables they are actually classified into two in that particular lesson, whether they are accessed within or whether they are declared within a function or outside a function. And basically we have seen that their lifespan actually when they are destroyed, either when they exit a function or exit a program. Today we are going to take up one of those particular types of variables, and that is what you call a local variable, into more details. And in our journey we are going to define what is a local variable, what is a syntax, and how can we actually implement it. So let's come back and define what is a local variable. So before that, we want to define what is actually a variable. And we have seen in our previous lessons that actually a variable is a memory location. So basically, it will be very right to say that a variable actually it is a memory location. So this particular memory location actually holds up values which can be manipulated. So we have got a memory location here, and we have got maybe a variable called a, and that particular variable called a can be assigned any value, and here it is assigned a value of 10. So what is a local variable? So a local variable basically will be a variable that it is actually declared inside either inside a function or inside a block. So basically, when you're talking about local variable, they must be either declared within a function or within a block. So that takes us into the syntax. So if you are saying a local variable either declare within a function, so let's take for example, we have got a function here called add, and this particular function we want to declare a variable called int a equals to 10, b is equal to 20, and sum. So all these particular variables, they are local to add. So if I say sum is equal to a plus b, so they are local to sum. They are actually local to sum. However, let's see, and then here I say print sum. So these are local to sum. Now I say if sum is greater than, if sum is greater than a, then int c equals to a plus b. Now here, and then I say print c. So here we have c, it is local to a block within if. So this is local to add, and this is local to if. Now if I try and say else, and then I can say here int d equals to c times c. This one will give me an error because we are trying to access c, which is local to this particular block of f, in another block called else. So that is basically the syntax of it. So let's try now to implement. So if you want to implement a local variable, we can actually implement it into two, maybe taking up a particular function called add, and here actually we declare some variable local to add. So this will be a variable local to add, and then within that particular variable we can declare another block of statement and declare a variable local to if, and then another variable which is local to else. So basically this is how we are going to implement it. Let's go to dev++ and see how we can implement the same. So basically let's actually declare a function called add. So that is the declaration. If you don't understand this particular declaration, you can actually watch our previous videos, and here we are calling up our add function. So basically we are calling it up by name, and this is a function which takes no return value because it is void and does not take any argument. The argument also are void, so it's a type 1 function. So let's now define our function. So here now we are writing up our function definition, and inside these two curly brackets, what we are going to do, we are going to have to define the logic of that particular function. So let's take, for example, I say int a equals to 20, and then I want to print up that particular one. So maybe I say here print f, and basically what do I want to print? I am printing up a, so that will be a format specifier, %d, and if I print a, there is no problem at all, because here a it is local, to add. So a it is local to add, so this one it is local to our add function. So there is no problem at all. If I run this particular program, yes, it runs and gives me the value of 20. However, if I put up a block of statement here and say now if a is equal to 20, then now this is another block. I can say here int b should be equal to a times a, and here I can say print f %d print fb. So also this particular one will have no problem, because this variable, this particular variable b, it is local to if block. This one it is local to if block. This one it is local to if block. So there is no problem at all. This particular program will run with no problem at all. So let's run it and see. Actually there is no problem. So when we run, yes, we get that particular value and has got no problem at all. Now let's take up the next part of it, and with that particular part we are putting up another block within this particular function, we're putting up another block which is else, and in that particular else statement, what are we trying to do? We are trying now to say int c equals to b plus plus. Now this particular one will give me an error because we are trying to access b, which is local to the block f, so this one will give me an error and it won't agree onto that. So let's try to print now. So if you want to print C, so here basically we want to print up C, so that is %d, and we are printing up C. This one definitely will give me an error at this particular line 18. So let's see if you run this particular program, what will happen. Yes, it gives me an error at line 18, and that particular error, it is here, it is saying B was not declared within this particular scope because B was actually local to block F, to block if, and block in our block else it is not actually declared. So that is the rules and the implementation of what we call a local variable in a function. In our next lesson, basically we are going to talk about the global variable.